Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
All right, welcome back as we are remembering Coach Jack Becker, who passed away at age of 79. Well loved in this community. And I'm going to go now to Coach Kathy Luke. And I guess, Kathy, this is a double-edged thing with you, because not only did you know Coach Becker, in the profession and as a teacher, but you married one of his former players.
I did.
So you probably got a sampling of a lot of different opinions. And just right off the bat, how did you first meet Coach Becker?
I met him when I was walking to the gym. I was hired at Vanderbilt to coach the girls' basketball team, and I thought, wow, this guy had to play basketball. He's so tall. But of course, Coach Becker liked to talk a lot. So when he found out I was the new girls' basketball coach, we had many conversations that, to this day, that I still cherish some of them that I remember him telling me about. And I wanted to tell a story that I know all of y'all have heard, because Coach Becker told the same stories over and over again, But I use this story with my kids today, because I think I might be the only one on the panel still coaching. But he told me a story that I use today, and this is the Wally Pipp story. And Wally Pipp was the first baseman for the New York Yankees. And Wally Pipp called in to the coach one day and told the coach he had a headache and he couldn't play. So they had a game the next day, and the coach put in his replacement, a fella by the name of Lou Gehrig. And 14 years later, Lou Gehrig is still playing first base, and Wally Pipp never saw the floor again. And at the end of the season, they actually traded Wally Pipp. So Coach Becker would tell me this story, because the moral of it is that kids who need to suck it up a little bit, because you never know when the person behind you is going to take your spot. And so I always remember that story that he told me, and I often, when I have a kid telling me I'm sore, I don't want to play, I say, Wally Pipp? Of course.
Right.
And I'll tell him the Wally Pipp story. So I was also, in 2010, Coach Becker, a lot of people don't realize the amount of time coaches put in. And maybe it's, I don't know, you just kind of think that a coach is always going to be there, but the hours and hours that coaches put in after school and at night, when I realized how long Coach Becker had been at Vanderbilt and everything he did for the basketball program, you know this, I called you up and we met, and I wanted to do something special for him. So we named the Terrier Classic. It was, and probably Coach Albert might have gave it the name Terrier Classic, I'm not sure, but we changed it to the Jack Becker Classic. And I was proud to do that. And what really touched me was that he was really touched by that. And I thought it was something that he needed to have, because he put in so much time and so much love at Vanderbilt. He truly loved Vanderbilt. He loved those kids.
But I remember that meeting. We met at Copeland's.
We did.
And he was so unassuming and thought he was so undeserving.
He did.
But I heard that from him all the time. Where did that come from?
I don't know, and that's what I just think that sometimes people don't realize, and not only coaches, teachers too, but when you spend 41 years of your life at one place, you deserve to walk out of there with something, that people can remember you by, because that's an awful lot of time. And I'm sure, he missed a lot of family things, to spend time at Vanderbilt Catholic. So
when during that conversation and I know you told me before that not only did you sit there with Coach Becker, but you and Coach Neal, y'all would sit there. I'd have liked that Ben flying that table, listening to the basketball talks that were going on. That was special to you, wasn't it?
Oh, listen, I think Coach Neal might have retired because I talked his head off every day. He left Vanderbilt after the first year. He said, I can't take this woman anymore. You know, when you have, well, for me at least, when I know somebody knows something about basketball, I'm going to pick their brain because you know, when you're through learning, you're through. And these gentlemen, these men that I work with, they had some basketball knowledge. And I used to constantly, and Coach Neal will tell you, just go to them and ask them, you know, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I'll tell you one other story that that meant a lot to me. When we played for our first state championship at Vanderbilt, we had lost to St. Michael's. We were down, and we had won on an 8-run and tied the ball game up. And St. Michael's went down and hit a 3, and we got the ball, and we ended up losing the ball game. And after that game, I had gone to Coach Becker, and I had told him, I said, you know, I think I made a mistake. I should have called the timeout and set a play up. And he said, why didn't you call a timeout when you're on that 8-0 run? And I said, because we were rolling. We were in our groove. And he said, you know, the person that should have called the timeout was the other coach. He said, you know, your girls were playing real well. So he said, you can beat yourself up. He said, but I wouldn't have called the timeout. Mm-hmm. So, you know, just listening to other people's thought process. And I always valued their opinion.
All right. Thank you, Coach. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back. We have Coach David Neal, and we have some players who played under Coach Becker. It's all next. Don't go away.